today it is my 11th class under gravitation chapter. So please observe, under this gravitation in the last class we have learnt very important concepts based on acceleration due to gravity. There we have learnt nearly 4 points. One based on acceleration due to gravity above the surface of the earth. Second point, acceleration due to gravity below the surface of the earth. Third point, due to the rotation of the earth, acceleration due to gravity varies. Again, fourth point, due to the shape of the earth, again acceleration due to gravity varies. So all these important concepts we have learned, and we have learned various derivations based on that. Today I just give one important graph where you can observe, those things can be observed under this graph. I just draw the graph based on variation of acceleration due to gravity versus distance. I will just show 3 points in this graph. Please observe variation of acceleration due to gravity, acceleration due to gravity, where I can say G dash versus distance R. I can take small r, you can also take capital R, you need not worry about the one small r, capital R. Here I have taken distance represented by R. So I just draw the graph, that is acceleration due to gravity versus distance. This is G dash, nothing but acceleration due to gravity. X-axis where we are expressing with respect to distance, represented by R. So you can observe from the origin, nothing but from center of the earth, if you observe, you can just draw the line. This explains where G dash is proportional to R. Nothing but it explains about depth. Nothing but the one variation due to depth. So when it reaches this point, and you can observe here, this is nothing but where small r is equal to capital R. If you are writing capital R, you can also write capital R. If you are taking small r, it is also correct. What does this explains? Exactly on the surface. So at this position you can say on the surface. On the surface. How G is maximum on the surface. By chance if you go above the surface, then your graph varies like this. What does it explains? G dash is proportional to 1 by r square, where I can say above the surface of the earth. Surface of the earth. So if you just observe this graph, it is enough. Where in these 3 points I have explained. One, I can say this is the point exactly on the surface. This is exactly at the center of the one earth. So from center of the earth, if you are reaching to the surface, G is directly proportional to R. So at the center, you know already G is equal to 0, because you have learned when D is equal to R, then G dash becomes 0. So at the center, you can say it is at this origin. So as you move from center to the surface, then you can say directly proportional to the distance. When it reaches the surface, exactly on the surface, you know G is maximum here. Therefore, I can say exactly on the surface it is maximum. When you go above the surface, again at altitudes, G decreases. How does it decreases? You get this type of graph where you say it is nothing but a rectangular hyperbola, you can say where it is G dash is proportional to 1 by r square. So you get this type of curve. So you can observe this graph. So please observe, last class whatever you have learned derivation, based on that, by looking to this graph, you are ready to explain exactly on the surface G is maximum. As you go deep inside, G decreases. As you go above the surface, G decreases. But exactly when it reaches center of the earth, G becomes 0. Nothing but gravity at depth becomes 0. So you can observe this graph. By looking to this graph, you can analyze the things. Also in the previous class I have explained one point based on how does it varies, where G is directly proportional to R. As distance increases, G also varies. So if distance is less, G decreases in less way. Suppose if it is more, again G increases. So nothing but G goes on, will be directly proportional, I can say. So distance increases, G also changes. As distance decreases, G also changes. How? Directly. Okay. But here also it is. But you know one concept I said, when you go above the surface of the earth, it decreases steeply. G decreases steeply, I said. That is how we can observe in this graph. Okay. So this completes the one acceleration due to gravity above, below the surface of the earth, and also based on the surface of the earth. You have done these things. So just remember, this is only for the objective type questions. You can remember this graph. So as and when you come across this graph, you should be ready to remember how does it varies. So you can analyze the things correctly and you can explain all the 3 points in one graph itself. Okay. Now today this completes the acceleration due to gravity. Today let me go for the one new important concept. That is one more concept called gravitational field. This I explained today because this also is included for the next potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. I need there this concept. So I just briefly explain first what is gravitational field. With the help of this, again we learn the one gravitational potential energy and also we learn gravitational potential. So be careful, you have to know the concept of field, that is gravitational field. Okay, let me highlight one by one. So let me explain this. You expect here only objective type questions, 1 or maximum 2 marks. You do not have derivation here, but main concept you have to understand very clearly. That will help you for the next coming gravitational potential energy derivation. So with the help of this we learn there. Okay, let me tell you what it is. What do you mean by gravitational field? So before telling this, let me tell you one simple example. So in this nature, whenever we want to say about force, so force can be transmitted by pushing or pulling of the other bodies. So in nature, whenever you want to speak about force, so we have to apply the one force means we are just pushing or maybe are pulling the object by another body, then only say it experiences force. Okay, we understand this. Nothing but this force is transmitted only by the help of pushing or pulling of an object. Nothing but when it is in contact. Whenever it comes in direct contact, this force can be explained. Very simple point in the earlier class I said, if I want to say, if I want to push this object, I have to push it from the back side, then only it will move forward. So you are applying force. If I want to pull it, I have to drag it. So I am applying force. Nothing but that is in contact with this object. So when you are saying force, it is in contact with the one object by another body, then only there exists a force. That is called direct contact, we say. Okay. But remember, in nature we have observed millions of kilometers, millions of miles I can say, there is a distance between sun and the earth. Even then there arises a gravitational force. There arises an attraction between those two and hence there arises a force. So without a contact also, sun and earth, always there is a force of attraction between them. Even the same type you can also in turn you can say earth and moon. There is but there arises a gravitational force. But you will observe here, there is no contact between sun and earth because in between there is a millions of miles. Even then there arises a force. We say that it is not in contact. The object is not in contact with it. Even then there arises a force. So without contact also you are applying force. You are explaining force. So when you are saying without contact means, for this we call it as action at a distance. So example, there is a gravitational force between sun and earth. Sun and earth, you say there arises a gravitational force. For this, nothing but I say the word, even the distance between them is millions of miles. Millions of miles are there. They are not in contact. Even then there arises a force. So without contact also there arises a force means we say it is called action at a distance. We call action at a distance. But nowadays the same concept we explain in another way called as gravitational field. Please remember, we call the new word called as gravitational field. Earlier we used to say it is called, that concept is called action at a distance. But today the same concept, action at a distance, is now can be explained as gravitational field. For this, what is the important concept means? Any object having mass explains gravitational field. So 2 points you have to remember. Any object having mass will explain gravitational force. Okay, any object having mass will explain gravitational force. So this mass, whenever it is in the field, whenever the object having mass is in the field, naturally there rises an attraction between another body and hence there experiences a gravitational field. Nothing but there experiences a gravitational pull, due to which we call it as gravitational field. So if a mass is, second point, so any object having mass experiences gravitational force, right? Experiences gravitational force. Okay. Now, if I say one more point, gravitational force. This object, whenever the object having mass, that a object having mass is experiencing gravitational pull with another body around the space explains gravitational field. So whenever I say mass is experiencing gravitational pull with another body around the space is called gravitational field. What do you mean by this? If an object is having mass, let me say, this first creates nothing but spherical influence. That creates a spherical influence, due to which another body which is maybe on the surface, maybe inside here, wherever it is, then there arises a force of attraction between them, and that space which is experiencing gravitational pull with this body is called as gravitational field. Okay, so that you remember. So an object, whenever it is here, that having mass, first it will always produce a sphere of influence around it. That produces sphere of influence, nothing but it produces some space, right? So in that space, if another body is also applying the gravitational pull with this body, so naturally there arises a force of attraction between them, hence it is called as gravitational field. Okay. And if you want to say this gravitational field with another point called as intensity, let me tell you one more point called as intensity. Intensity of gravitational field. Intensity of gravitational field. Please remember, this can be represented by I symbol, or it is also represented by E. In some textbooks they will write E, in some other textbooks they will write I, because different authors will use different symbols, but both are correct. You are ready to write I, and also you are ready to write, that is E. Okay. So it is a gravitational field at any point, nothing but intensity of gravitational field at any point is equal to the force. At any point is equal to the force. Intensity of gravitational field at any point is equal to the force experienced per unit mass. So remember here, I said there is a field. When I say field means already we have an object which is having mass, and that mass will be experiencing a sphere of influence. If another body is in that field, always there arises a gravitational pull between them, due to which there arises a gravitational force, and that field is called as gravitational field. Now what do you mean by intensity? Intensity of gravitational field at any point is equal to the force experienced per unit mass. Force experienced per unit mass is called intensity of gravitational field. So for your reference, I will tell you, if I write that is intensity represented by symbol I, you already I said force experienced per unit mass. So when you explain force, that is a gravitational force between these two objects. If I say, if this is the one mass of the earth m, and this is the object we have, that is nothing but small, that is m, naturally there arises a force of attraction between them, and we say, when I say this point, naturally what do you mean by force? Nothing but gravitational force. You already learned in the previous class, gravitational force is represented by F equal to G capital M into small m divided by R square. This point you have learned. This is called gravitational force, universal law of gravitation. You can say where F equal to G mn by R square. Now we know this is F. If I write in terms of this, where I is equal to capital G, capital M, small m divided by R square. This is F, whole divided by M. Okay, when I have written this is per unit mass, only M I have written. It is none other than nothing but M by 1. M by 1, when you reverse it, what happens? This becomes, this is denominator, this is numerator. This M and N gets cancelled. Now what is left out? I is equal to capital G, capital M divided by R square. But already in the previous class we know that where small g is equal to Gm by R square. What is this? This is called acceleration due to gravity, right? But here we got M by R square. What do you want to say here? It is none other than where I is equal to G. But remember, here, this is called as acceleration due to gravity. What is this called as? Intensity of gravitational field. And this always acceleration due to gravity is a vector quantity. Even this also is a vector quantity. So, in vector heads we write I is equal to G. But you observe from this definition where I is equal to G. are not same, both are different. I is called intensity of gravitational field and G is called acceleration due to gravity. So please observe, today we have learnt one very important concept, intensity of gravitational field. This we have learnt with the help of gravitational field. Okay. So intensity of gravitational field can be defined as at any point the intensity of gravitational field is equal to force experienced per unit mass. Okay. Therefore, if I write symbol I, also you are going to write E. So whichever comfortable you can write, both are correct. So different others will write different the one symbols. So I is equal to F by M. If I substitute, already you know there arises a force of attraction between these two. So naturally we call it as the force of gravitational force of attraction here, due to which we write this formula. If you substitute, you get this. And finally we come across I is equal to G. But G is an acceleration due to gravity. It's a vector quantity. Intensity is also vector quantity. So naturally we can write both by vector heads. So from this we observe I is equal to G. But remember, I and G are different physical quantities. We have arrived at this expression, but I and G are different physical quantities. When G is called acceleration due to gravity, I is called intensity of gravitational field. Okay. In this, we come across some object type questions. Let me highlight you what are these. I will tell you the one. The intensity of gravitational field. Intensity of gravitational field. What are the important concepts we come across here? Is first point you can remember I is equal to G. But you know I is equal to F by M. Right? This is what you know. This intensity of gravitational field is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Vector quantity. Okay? Vector quantity. And if you want to write with respect to the SI units, I can say SI unit. Fourth point, where you can say force. Force you can write Newton. Mass, it is in terms of kg. This is a nothing but called SI units. You are going to write Newton by kg. Or you are going to write Newton per kg. If you want to write CGS unit, at that time, instead of Newton, you can write dyne, kg per gram. Right? One more, dimensional formula. Dimensional formula. What is this? We said I is equal to G. You know G is called acceleration due to gravity. So you are ready to write this one dimensional formula. M to the power of 0, L to the power of 1, T raised to minus 2. So this is what you have to remember. All these only for object type questions you can remember. At the most you can remember here. What is F here? I write here itself, where we know F is equal to capital G M by R square. Right? Okay. What is small g? Small g is equal to Gm by R square. By using this we get this expression. So these points you just remember. You will get for object type questions. Maybe in 1 and 2 more questions you may expect. What is defined intensity of gravitational field if they ask? You are ready to say intensity of gravitational field can be defined as at any point it is equal to the force experienced per unit mass. This is what definition you can remember. And these are the 1 points you have to remember for intensity of gravitational field. Okay. Now, one more point I want to say here. This intensity of gravitational field. Here I have written, this is nothing but called as I is equal to F by M. We have written, where F already answered we know. What is the value of I means? I can write the 7th point where I is equal to Gm by R square. But this will be always negative. Please remember, remember, always negative. Here how did we get this negative sign? Means when this intensity of gravitational field is always attractive in nature, hence you can say it is negative. So I can say that negative sign indicates intensity of gravitational field is negative. Intensity of gravitational field is negative. Negative sign indicates intensity of field is always negative. What is the negative sign? Indicates it is negative because always attractive. Always attractive in nature. Attractive in nature. So these points you be careful. So here intensity of gravitational field, where I said I is equal to F by M definition, and we have proved I is equal to G and have written vector head because both are vector quantities. So you are also represented by the vector heads. And SI unit where we know Newton per kg as per this definition. If you want to write CGS unit, you know dyne per gram. Okay. Regarding dimensional formula, if you remember this acceleration to the ready or right, where it is m to the power of 0, n to the power of 1, t raised to minus 2. And this is always the expression for intensity of gravitational field is this one, and it is always negative. What does this negative sign indicates? It is always attractive in nature. This point you remember under the one gravitational field along with intensity of gravitational field. Hope you understood this. The one gravitational field as well as intensity of gravitational field. These are the basic concepts required for the next important concept, gravitational potential energy. So that we learn now with derivation we also learn. So let me highlight you the one gravitational potential energy. I hope you have understood all these things. So just remember, you expect maximum only 1 and 2 mark questions, and you have to remember these for any objective type questions. Okay. Right. between another body. So if another body is there, naturally there arises a gravitational pull, due to which there arises a field. So wherever you have field, there always it experiences gravitational force. Okay. Now the energy associated with the body possessing the position is called as gravitational potential energy, and that symbol is represented by U. And here in this case we speak about the one object. For example, any object which is somewhere at some reference point. If I want to bring that object towards the field, I am bringing that object from the reference point to the field, then that object experiences gravitational field. Nothing but it will be having the position of that object inside the gravitational field, called as gravitational potential energy. Okay, so now let me tell you how to explain this. So it is the measure of the one amount of work done. We are doing some work. What type of work we are doing? So let me say some object is somewhere here. That object is somewhere, I do not know what is it, but it is at some reference point. Here we have some field. Here it is some field. So this object is at this position, somewhere here. I am bringing this object from a reference point. Let me say this is some reference point for me. Okay. So from reference point to that object inside the field. If I bring that object here means I am applying some force. Also I am displacing this object from this point to this. So naturally there is a displacement and also we are applying some force. Naturally a product of force and displacement is called work done. I am doing some work. So I am doing some work. Therefore work done against an object, bringing from one reference point to the gravitational field is called as the one gravitational potential energy. We are bringing this object from one point to another point. The amount of work done in bringing an object from the reference point to the field, inside the field, it is called gravitational potential energy. Work done. Energy. Capacity to work is called energy. What you are doing? You are doing some work. Maybe the work is small, maybe the work is large. It is irrespective. But you are applying some force. You are displacing the object from one point to another point. So you are doing some work. Hence, we say the amount of work done in bringing an object from reference point to the field is called as gravitational potential energy. What is this? This is the field. When do you say this field? If the object is having some mass and it is having the one a sphere of influence. If another body is here, naturally there exists a gravitational pull between them. There experiences a force of attraction between them. So here there is a force of attraction, and that it is inside the field will have force of attraction. Naturally that is called as gravitational field. So somewhere the object is here. We are bringing the object to here. Means you are displacing the object. You are doing some work by applying some force. So displacing the object by applying force from one point to another point is called work done. So the amount of work done in bringing an object from the reference point to the field is called as gravitational potential energy. Okay, let me tell you how to explain this by mathematically. How we can prove this mathematically, this gravitational potential energy. Okay, I'll tell you by giving some example, you will understand much better. Now you understood the one statement. Okay, so now let me go for the next one. The figure, I'll just draw one figure. Please observe. To explain this gravitational potential energy, I am just drawing one figure. Let me say this is the mass of the earth. Let me say this is mass of the earth. Okay. Here is some object, mass, that is small v. Okay. Now this is the object we have, which is placed at some distance from here to here. placed having some distance r. So naturally what happens? Then always this small object, this is the one mass which is small mass, always attracting towards the one bigger mass. So naturally there arises a force of attraction between them. So naturally there arises a force of attraction between them. Okay. Now let me say this point is B. So I am placing the point mass, that is the one mass at B point, and there always this is placed at a distance r from it. Naturally there is nothing but there rises a force of attraction because this mass is attracting towards the bigger mass, hence there rises a force of attraction. So I write this is capital F now. So already you know what is F? F is equal to G M by, since I have taken the distance r, small r, so I write small r square. Here capital M is said to be the mass of the earth and small m is the mass of the given object which is placed at point B, and now I am just here, this is placed at B point. Let me say earth is at some point A, so the A and B are at some distance r. So okay, now what I am doing here, I want to just push this mass, I want to push the mass to some small distance. This is a very large distance, so I am pushing the mass a small distance. For example, up to here, I am bringing this mass here, so a small distance we call it as dr. What happens here? I am just pushing the mass here means I am also applying force. Here also I am applying force. So I want to push that object from that B point to some distance dr. So I am pushing to this point C, distance dr. What I am doing? I am applying force. So I am pushing it. Okay, it is at C point, right? What you are doing? You are just displacing the object. You are doing some work by applying force. Now let me say at some point, this is at point infinity. Let me say this is at infinity point. Suppose if the object is at infinity, you are bringing that object to some distance towards some point C, and you are nothing but you are bringing that object from here to here, again and you are bringing to inside the field. You are bringing this object inside the field means you are doing some work. So please observe, this object is on the surface. That object is inside the field now, it is exactly on the surface here. Suppose this is on the surface, it is of the earth. Now it is bringing from infinity to this point. You are bringing an object from infinity to this point means you are doing some work against the one field. So work is done by bringing an object. This is the reference point for us. This is our reference point. So what is the reference point? That reference point particularly it is infinity. So from infinity to a certain distance, we are bringing the object inside this gravitational field, and that experiences the one gravitational potential energy. So this is what the figure we had here. So by using this, we can explain the gravitational force. So what do you mean by gravitational force formula? Where F is equal to G M by R. This is F. You are displacing from one point to another point. So you are doing some work. So whenever I say I want to do work, means W is equal to F into dr. What type of work you are doing? A small work is done because there is a small displacement. So small displacements means you are doing small work. But I need a large work done means I should take the help of the one integration. This you learn in mathematics, but remember we take the help of integration concept. This we come across in mathematics. So here what do you mean by integration means if you have small work done dW, I need a large work done, that is capital W. At that time I need the help of the one integration. What you are doing when I want dW to be changed to W means I take the help of integration dW. So this dW will become W after integrating. And if I integrate this within the limits, then naturally with this initial point and this is final. At that time we say we are using the one limits, we call it as definite integrals. Definite integrals. So here also we know the position, we are bringing the object from infinity to certain point, so we take the help of definite integrals. So this is what the way, symbol we have to use, integral symbol, and this is always the one initial point, this is final point. So when you integrate this, we get the one vertical, total vertical. So this is the one rules we have to use it. Let me apply this in here. This, if I use this, if I integrate it on both sides, integrating on both sides, what happens? Then integral of dw is equal to integral of f into dr. But here we have some limits. Let me say some initial point. This is initial point. This is final point. Okay. So here, always remember initial point. Where is that object? Object is at some point with reference point, and you are bringing to some point. So that you have to take it as initial point minus final point. You have to use it. Right? So now let me say what is f? F is nothing but Gmm by r square. Let me substitute in this. So if I use here initial, here it is final. Then this will become w is equal to, this I substitute the value of f. F is G capital M small m by r square. This is initial, this is final. Okay, into dr. Here you know capital G is the universal gravitational constant, capital M is the mass of the earth, small m is the mass of the object you are bringing, and the distance is the between capital M and small m distance is r, and we know this is the one small distance we are pushing it, so we are doing some work. Here we got this. In this G, capital M and small m, all are constants. This will never change. Only the variable is distance and this dr. So I just try to integrate only the one variables. And whatever the constants you have, we take outside the one integral symbol. Therefore, w is equal to capital G, capital M, small m. Inside we take 1 by r square dr. This is initial. Here this is final point. Okay. So now, what is this initial point and what is the final point? So final point is bringing from one point to another point. So here what is the final point you have here? This final point is nothing but what as here infinity. Let me write, this is the one final point. This is the one initial point. So initial point is 0. Final point is infinity. So for your reference, so let me write here 1 by r. First we have to integrate this. For this I give one simple formula. We have in mathematics x to the power of n dx. If you have this condition, then we have this. After integrating, we can write this formula can be written as x to the power of n into dx, because we have x here, variable will be dx. So at that time, x to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. This is the rule in integration. So this formula we have to use here. Let me tell you here, we have x to the power 1 by r square. If you have 1 by r square dr means, this can be written as r to the power of minus 2 dr integral symbol like this. Here what is this n? Here n is nothing but minus 2. So with the help of this I can write. So when n is equal to minus 2, using this symbol, what do you get? You get r to the power of minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. So minus 2 plus 1 will become nothing but r to the power of minus 1. Minus 2 plus 1, this is minus 1. So this can be written as, here r to the power of minus 1 can be written as 1 by r. This is minus, I can write minus 1 by r. So directly by the help of this, we can use here this is nothing but W is equal to G capital M small m. After integration, with the help of that, I'll write here itself for you. Here you can use, that is nothing but integral of 1 by r square dr is equal to, that is r to the power of minus 2. This you can take minus 2 dr integral symbol. This can be written as r to the power of minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. After removing the integration, we should not put integration here. So therefore you will get, that is r to the power of minus 1 by minus 1. But here we have put limits. So when you put limits, I'll write this is initial, this is final. Here it is initial, final. But here we have already removed this. So we have to put bracket like this is initial, this is final. So we get this is nothing but initial, final. Now we got this answer. So what we have to write now? Here after removing this integration, finally I can write this is minus 1 by r. This is initial, this is final. This is our answer here. But I have to put limits. When you put limits, then remember always we have a rule: upper limit minus lower limit. This is the one rule we have to remember whenever we put the one limits for this. Upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit is what? Final. Lower limit is initial. So what is upper limit here? Upper limit is nothing but here this is infinity. Initial limit is 0. So you are bringing from that to this field. So you are bringing to 0. So at that time I can write, here I will write for you. Here I will write final is equal to infinity. Initial is equal to 0. Okay. So if I substitute here, then your final answer becomes W is equal to capital G small m into this minus and take it outside. I will write here minus. Here this becomes 1 by r and initial is 0. This becomes infinity. So for your reference, if I want to say initial itself, we do not know what is that point. If I keep initial itself is I itself, then I can keep itself as I. Then it will be easy for you to keep I. So let me write this initial is I for your reference. Then your answer becomes W is equal to minus G capital M small m. Here this is upper limit. Please observe, this is upper limit minus lower limit. I should write wherever you have variable, there you have to substitute. So this becomes 1 by infinity minus 1 by I. That is initial. So I write for your reference R infinity, this is R I, like this. Okay. But remember, you know the rules. 1 by infinity, whenever we say 1 by infinity, this always tends to 0. This 1 by infinity tends to 0. So here it is minus 1 by r. So here already we have minus. Here already we have minus. So this minus and minus will become plus. But let me keep as it is inside whatever the value. So you get W is equal to minus G capital M small m into minus 1 by r prime. Okay, this is our expression. But remember, if this object is moved very slowly, you are bringing this object very slowly without using kinetic energy. You are going with constant velocity. When you are going with constant velocity means at that time you have one concept where work done is always equal to difference in potential energies. So at that time we use the concept work done is equal to difference in potential energies. That concept we use here. Finally we get the expression. Okay, let me highlight that one. Had to work that code. So first you have got work done. Let me explain up to here. Then finally I go for it. So please observe. This is the one mass of the earth. Here we have a small object mass m. It is at point B. Earth is at A point, and the one capital M is for mass of the earth. Small m mass of the one object. These two are separated by some distance r. And always the small object is attracting to the huge mass. Hence we write force in this direction. There arises a force of attraction between them, and that is called a gravitational force, where F equal to G mm by r square. Okay. Next point, I am just displacing this object to some point. I am just pushing this to some distance. At that time we get, this is nothing but displacement is here, small displacement here. And we are doing some, we are applying some force, pushing this. So we are applying force here at F, nothing but F. Again you have the one, this is force. And you are displacing to some distance, means you are doing some work. So when you want to say work done, at that time you know work done is equal to force into displacement. The displacement is r, dr. But since the displacement is very small distance, at that time its work done will be very small, like this. Okay. Now we want to get total work done. So we take the help of integrating this on both the sides. We have to take the help of mathematics and we have to integrate here. That is nothing but calculus using this. And also we know some initial point and final point. So we write initial and final. So using this we write this expression. Now again after integrating we get W, and only the one, the constant terms are taken outside, the variables are kept inside this. Only for this we integrate. After integrating, to integrate this I take the help of this formula. You should remember this formula. Only this formula you can remember. You need not worry about that. This you learn in mathematics. If you remember this, you can write here like this. We get this answer by the help of this formula. We reduce like this, and finally we get like this. This is the one answer we get. After getting this, again we are writing, since r to the power of minus 1 it is, we can write 1 by r. Since it is minus here, I write outside minus. I will take it outside. We get this in the expression. After completing integration, we take the help of limits. Now we take the limits. At that time, again we have one formula, upper limit minus lower limit. So using that, we write this formula. Now we know 1 by infinity tends to 0, and this will become 1 by r. This is the one work done. We got this one. Okay. But now one more step I want to say here. When you want to push this object to some distance, you are doing some work done. But this work done is moved with constant velocity without the help of kinetic energy. At that time we have one concept where work done is equal to difference in potential energy. I will just rub the board and write it. Of this slide, please observe. We have concept with constant velocity. You just push the one object without the help of kinetic energy. At that time, work done is equal to difference in potential energies. This is the one condition we have to use. When you use this, if you substitute here, then Uf minus Ui is equal to minus G capital M, this formula whatever you get, you have to write as it is, minus 1 into 1 by r prime. But remember here, already at infinity I said, u infinity minus ui is equal to minus gmm minus 1 by r prime. But this tends to 0. Therefore you get minus ui is equal to, this minus into minus will become plus. G capital M into 1 by r I. But I want to write this ui itself. At that time you get minus G M by r I. This is our expression for potential energy, gravitational potential energy. And hope you have seen minus. This negative sign indicates nothing but this is always attractive in nature. Okay. Please observe this condition. We will go through this carefully. It is very simple. Only the one new concept you come across, the integration, which you learn in mathematics. But you just remember the formula, it is enough. Okay, this completes the one, gravitational potential at G. Please go through the things carefully. I will just recall 5 minutes in the next class. Then I will go for one more important point, it is gravitational potential. After remembering this, within one step you will learn the gravitational potential. Hope you have understood all these things. Thank you.